Hi everyone, Gareth here with Boston Driver. As you probably know, we got a major win on November 5th, giving drivers the right to unionize while keeping independent contractor status. Congratulations to all professional drivers, and huge shout out to all Mass residents for supporting us. In this video, I'd like to talk about our union objectives, but before we jump into that, let me elaborate on why we decided to launch Boston Driver and why it's important for all Uber and Lyft drivers to act now. As you probably know, Massachusetts Attorney General's office had a settlement with Uber and Lyft for $32.50 minimum hourly pay to drivers. Uber actually used this as their nationwide marketing campaign, flooding Boston market with out-of-state drivers. While $32.50 may sound great for some people, it's important to mention that this guarantee paid to drivers only for active time, which is combined and equalized over 2 weeks period. I'd like to remind drivers that an active time starts from the moment you accept the trip and lasts till you bring a rider to their destination. Our passengers watching this video might say, okay, all sounds fair. Why should drivers get paid when not actively carrying passengers? Think about your own job for a minute and imagine being sent to the break room throughout your workday between your tasks and being paid only for the fractions of time while being fully engaged in your tasks. This is what Uber and Lyft do to Massachusetts drivers using active hour guarantee. What makes things even worse is that Uber and Lyft currently operate a bidding model called dynamic pricing, which means they start offering trips to drivers at the lowest possible rates. Considering our current oversaturation, there are thousands of desperate drivers that will always grab the trips at their lowest point. The dynamic pricing model combined with guaranteed per active hour rate creates an environment where drivers are forced to accept all low-paying trips so they can stay active and make up to that $32.50 active hour guarantee. Since online wait times and deadheads to pickups are currently paid by drivers, in reality, drivers generate around $15 to $25 gross per hour these days, minus fuel, car maintenance, insurance, and other expenses. A question of the day is, what can be done to improve Uber and Lyft drivers' livelihoods? We have several fundamental goals to reach, but let's start from the most important one, compensation. There are two potential scenarios to consider. The first one, based on fixed split from gross. The second, based on rate cards. With the first one, it's only fair if 75% of the commission goes to drivers and 25% goes to TNCs after tolls and fees. If we get more success with the second option, which is based on rate cards, there should be also annual standard of living increase and trip portions negotiated. That had to pick up wait time starting from the first minute, trip from pickup to delivery, and a portion of a surge. Our next priority will be fair trips distribution. Trips assignments must be based solely on driver's geographical position. That excludes trips coming from Logan Airport. All additional stops info must be included when offering fares. Now, how can we improve supply and demand in our industry? First, through slightly increasing industry standards. X and XL vehicles must be under 10 years old. Comfort must be set as a standalone tier with vehicles under 8 years old. Black and SUV vehicles must be under 6 years old. And all newly added vehicles must have leather or leatherette seats. What else can we do to protect our state resident drivers' earnings? Well, protecting our state boundaries will make a huge difference. All Massachusetts state originating trips must be assigned exclusively to Mass resident drivers with 1-year driver license. Owned, leased, or rented vehicles solely with Massachusetts registered plates. Add return to boundary fee based on negotiated rate cards. Last but not least, we need to establish transparent communication bridge with Uber and Lyft when it comes to activations, deactivations, and reactivations. Our first task would be form a review board consisting of TNC reps and Boston driver reps. Second, require TNCs to report newly activated accounts, existing accounts scheduled for potential deactivation, or already deactivated accounts. And third, Boston Driver will provide training and support to deactivated members. As you can see, Boston Driver Union objectives will equally benefit part-time and full-time drivers. If you're ready for the real change, fill out online union authorization form. We'll include links in the comments. Thank you for taking your time. Hopefully you'll join us.